The product that you can see on the screen is a shell for Windows 3.1. And unfortunately, it was one of the biggest Microsoft failures ever. So they started to develop this product in, I think, March '95, and they discontinued it in early '96. It was widely covered in the press, but unfortunately, as an example, as a both technical and innovation failure of a decade. And I think that many of you have similar experience with products that had a huge marketing expectations, but that at the same time, these products were totally failure. And I believe that there are many reasons of that. I think we tend to focus so much on velocity that we forget about the value that we should create. We also tend to forget about what is actually the need of our customers, and we think so much about number of features. So the more features we deliver, the better. And the same story with 100% utilization. So we tend to focus and we tend to believe, and especially managers, that the more busy people we have, the better, which of course is not true. And because we focus so much on the output, not on the outcome, we tend to create products that nobody wants to use. And maybe I'm just, one unlucky fellow, but this is what I can see on a daily basis when I work with companies. So one can ask if there is an alternative. And yes, luckily for us, there are some companies and there are some products that work slightly different. So think about, for instance, Spotify. Think about Tesla. Think about Airbnb. Think about Netflix. They work in a slightly different way. So they focus on validating ideas because they know that every assumption they have might be wrong. They focus so much also on making sure that they are learning fast and they are continuously learning because they know that they might be wrong and every idea actually might be wrong. And they also focus on business results. So they know that it's not only about delivering features and features and features, but there is a purpose behind it. So this is what product discovery is about. So it's about learning, it's about validating, it's about discovering the right products. And today I would like to share with you 3 stories and also 3 very, I would say even extremely simple tools that you can use on a daily basis to make sure that you are building the right product. I was cooperating with a software house a couple of years ago, and we had a client from UK, and it was a marketing agency. And the product owner on their side, he was a very busy person. So unfortunately, because of that, the team on our side was not aware why we are doing this concrete product. We are not aware about users. We are not aware about their needs. We are not aware about almost anything. So the team was focused on delivering tasks. So luckily for us, we hired a product owner on our side. It was more like a proxy product owner. But the guy was experienced enough to recognize the situation. So he invited the client representative from UK to Poland, and we spent a couple of days discussing only what our users need on a daily basis. We are discussing features that they need. We are discussing product vision. We are discussing personas, and so on. So it was a total product immerse for a couple of days for the development team. And I perfectly remember the moment when one of the developers, after this couple of days, talking about the product, he said something like, God, I was working for this client for 6 months, but only now do I understand what is the product about. And for me, it was, a mind-blowing experience. How can we spend so much time, without awareness why we are doing things and who is at the end of the process? The simple tool that I use on a daily basis to build a shared understanding about what is the product vision is a product vision board from Roman Pichler. It's extremely simple tool, as you can see, just 4 columns, 2 rows, but it allows you to think, who is your customer? What are your customers' needs? What is the product that you would like to deliver that will fulfill these needs of your customers? And at the end of the day, how we are going to make money out of it. So really simple tool that I use with companies that are producing software, but also with companies that are producing different things like automotive companies. And also I use it for myself, for the products that I build. So for instance, for the book that I wrote or for workshops. So really simple yet versatile tool to check. Another story is about a medical company. And this time, as a software house, we are a bit smarter. So we invited the customer on site to our company, and we spent a couple of days conducting, we call it discovery workshop. And it was all about, creating a product vision, building empathy maps, creating customer journey, creating user story mapping, and so on. And the best thing of this cooperation was that this time we also invited real users. And the real users, I mean doctors. So we showed them the idea of the product, and we had a mobile application on Android, on iPhone. We also had a web application. And I perfectly remember the moment when one of these doctors, he said, guys, but nobody will use that. And we were like, come on, what are you talking about? He said, in a hospital, every doctor is in so rush that he will not have time to sit down on a chair, open his laptop, log into the application, and start using it. So the only thing that you can do is to provide a perfect mobile application, and especially it should be on iPhone, because all my friends who also are doctors, they have iPhones, so probably Android is not the best option. And it was really hard for us to believe it, but we confirmed this hypothesis with different doctors. And imagine the situation. We just because we invited them, we saved about months of work for the whole team. So pretty huge savings, I think. And the tool that we used here is extremely simple. So I had a trouble how to express it on the slide, because it's just about asking your customer, your potential customer, and trying to validate your ideas with your target group. So you can do it on site, you can visit the company, the client's company. So many different ways of doing it, but the good tip that helped us to conduct it is try to not think about it as a sales meeting. It's not about that. We should not try to convince the customer that we're right. We should be open to hear the truth. That might be really painful. And the third story that I would like to share today is a story about e-commerce company. And they had one great successful product. And recently they started a new sub-product, a branch of the main product. And there was a product owner who was in charge of this new initiative. And I was supporting this company in the process of transition. And anytime I asked this guy when it will be delivered, his answer was like 6 months. So, I asked the same question next month, and his answer is 6 months. So I started to be a bit suspicious about it. And I convinced the whole team to organize a workshop to discuss the scope that they think they should deliver, and try to be more precise with just saying again and again, 6 months, 6 months. The good thing that we did is we invited a guy who was a sponsor of this product. And what he saw after he entered the room, there was a whole wall with Post-its, with features that the team thought that they need to deliver it. And his response was like, guys, what it is? And they said, well, features that we think we need to deliver. And he said, I don't need that. I really don't need all the features that you have on the wall. And we, of course, asked why. He said, because my first goal is to show something really simple to a partner that we believe will cooperate with. So from the whole wall that you have here, I only need this, 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 and that. So just because we invited the guy who was aware about business goals, we probably shortened this 6-month period to a couple of weeks, because after we understand what we should deliver and why, then it was extremely simple to pick appropriate features. And again, the tool that we use is story mapping. Probably, I believe that most of you are familiar with this approach. It's created by Jeff Patton, and it's a really great tool for building shared understanding of the product, but also it's a great tool to pick appropriate features. But the important thing is to understand what we want to achieve. After knowing that, it's very easy to pick features that we need to deliver it. And in this example, the desired outcome is ability to create a simple document. And imagine we create a Microsoft Word. So we don't have all features at the beginning. We just need these couple features that are doing the job. So a couple of takeaways from my side. Focus on outcomes, not just on the output, because the number of features you deliver actually doesn't matter. The second thing is start with the product vision and let the people who deliver it understand the context. Third thing is validate your ideas, because any idea you have in your mind might be wrong and probably will be. And the last thing is try to understand business goals, because behind every product there is some business knowledge, but unfortunately many of development teams are not aware of it. And this is sad. So my call to action to you is I encourage you to incorporate product discovery techniques in your current development process. And there is a great Chinese proverb about a tree, that the best moment to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best moment is today. And it's the same story with product discovery. So probably the best moment to start using it was before you write even first line of code. But the good news is that the second best moment to use it is today. Thank you.